Well, hello and welcome. This is your host Eric, and welcome back to From the Depth. In this little video, I will go through the building process of the Alpha Rambler. We were participating in a little type of game mode or whatever, tournament thing, I suppose, which is basically intermediate. Anyways, it was about a 100k vehicle smashing the faces of other 100k vehicles, and I put together the Alpha Rambler. So let us load in the Alpha Rambler. And the Rambler is because I ramble a lot. So this is like the first section of the Alpha Rambler. I decided to make a tank vehicle. It was supposed to be a front-sider, just, I don't know, smashing the faces of the enemy with its own face until the enemy dies, relying on a semi-cheesy way of putting weapon systems on spin blocks but have them very localized inside. Kind of the technique the Turtle Lord by setup. If you haven't seen the Turtle Lord, you need to search it up on YouTube and watch a beautiful video where the Turtle Lord is battling. It's a beautiful ship. But anyways, the Turtle Lord uses this tactic too. It's a very smart thing. I learned it from setup, no surprise. And I thought to make that type of thing, but use a lot of big ducts and really good armor, since I do assume most people will bring their AP armor piercing stuff. That's the first iteration, and then the Alpha Rambler got a lot of new systems, my ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. And this is what I'm talking about. We have engine systems there. We have, I did add some diff guns, of course. We have some texts too. The cost is not 100k, as I said. It's actually 150k. Max volume is 15k. Given materials is 20. So here you can see the weapon systems being outputted. The thing is, they are kind of snake put on a spin block. So you can see we cut this one off, that's on a spin block. Cut this one off, it's on another spin block. And that's kind of how I did this, putting stuff on spin block. And that's basically to make them more survivable and stuff. So that's like a known technique, you know. The laser on this thing is a charge laser, so the plasma also is actually a charge plasma. So you can see here we have not very many generators. These are called the generators, but we have a lot of chambers. That means we can release a lot of plasma charges, but we can't reload them very fast. Same with the laser. We can release a lot of laser beam the first couple of seconds, but then it's kind of sad. Right. Then we move over to this little section where I also added a... I tried to add a pack gun, like a slow charge pack gun to the side here as a side gun. It's also on a 2-axis turret spin block there, so it's detached. And that's because we kind of limit... We do give a few degrees of aiming capability, and then we limit the point of where kind of what is it called, EMP can destroy the local weapon controller. Anyways, here you can see I also added a APS system. So this APS system goes down here. So we have added a little barrel there. And if this gets shot, it just ejects the ammo towards the enemy. So if they are close, if they destroy our APS gun, if they are close, we will eject all of the shells in the enemy's faces. And that was kind of what I wanted. Now that happened during the tournament-ish, but I don't think any of the shells hit anything actually when they got ejected. Because they were too far away. The enemies the Alpha Rambler met. Then when we go to iteration number 4, please tell me in the comments, by the way, if you did enjoy this type of like video where we just go through all of the pre-saved iterations like this, or if you didn't. Would be nice to know. Anyways, we have started to fill out the systems. We have added more engine power hidden inside there, adding some armor at places, adding some ammo and stuff like that. Also, it's starting to get some kind of balance. Then we go to the iteration number 5 of the Alpha Rambler. You can see we now have armor on top as well. We are opting for duct armor and a piece of metal, and then we have a lot of poles, a lot of heavy armor poles. If enemy uses a lot of hash, we got our we got our mice core inside of here, the little prefab. You can see that the prefabs for the AI being discussed in a showcase video from earlier. Anyways, and down there we got the weapon system. So yeah, things are progressing. It now moves around aimlessly. Moving over to iteration number 6, we are closing in on the max cost. We are 144,000 in cost now, so yeah, that's not great. Now you can see we added some beautiful tracks in the middle here. We added some rubber so it won't collide on stuff. We added a little detection prefab. We added a little diff gun. No, that's actually not a diff gun. Yeah, is this a diff gun? I think it is. And here we have a Vigoletta dick gun with some sniper shots to be fireable from there. So kind of also added a beautiful little ram. When we did our podcast episode with Rorsten, if you haven't watched the podcast, please go and watch it on Spotify and YouTube, by the way. But he discussed a tank he made that has a plow, and the plow kind of catches shells from Hessian heat. And I thought that was a really big brain move. So I did the same. I added a plow thing here, very, very thin, with lots of wood. Excellent spawn liner. If the enemy brings Hesh, we will be so safe for the first couple of rounds using this little shield here. Except if they hit us dead on, then I guess we're just unlucky. But here we can see they are a bit movable here. So if I go here and control, we can like shoot some stuff, you know. Our little laser, our little APS, our little plasma and stuff like that. Also got some rubber down here in case we scrape in the ground. You never know if the ground is gonna be uneven or not. Iteration number 7, we are starting to look the part-ish. We are getting some nice shapes. And here I actually ditched the pack cannon because it was too expensive. We are now at 133,000 instead. And we instead use a pack gun, which is... It's like this pack gun is gonna reload forever. But then it basically has one shot. And those shots are pretty scary considering the size of the gun. Ended up not being very useful in combat, to be honest, but yeah, they are here. And I showcased the Tetris. If you're interested into the Tetris, it's basically just compactors, but 3D pattern, but whatever. It's a dual barrel Tetris, and I showcased that in the rotary Doom Cram Cannon video if you want to have a closer look. This gun I developed when we made the Martin Sitopans Ultra Yamato Mark II refit. We also added some beautiful shields, because shields are nice. And here we have add detection, munition warners, smoke, shields, and all that stuff. Right, so then I think we need to scroll up to the final form, perhaps. Perhaps the final form is the thing we actually submitted. Let me find me one in the folders here. Fleets and Forces, Rumble Force, here it is. The Army of GMODISM, Self-Propelled Gun, SPG, Alpha Rambler, Mark 1. And you had to have your name included, so Lord High Admiral Eric of GMODISM, of course, the Empire represent. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We added a little meme thing here. This is a disposable shield with a not phallic looking drill to keep your friends that try to keep too close company at the distance. Here we have a heat decoy, and on this stick we have a radar decoy to deter enemy missiles. Looks a bit stupid, but it's to be useful, you know. Here we got our guns. We ended up with 112 charges. Happens to be the emergency number for Sweden. If you ever visit here, good to know. Here we have the shell speed of 547. That's a pretty slow shell. 21 shells available. We are having a heavy head solar watered incendiary thing, just like that. It's called burn, baby, burn, because we want to be dramatic like that. And we got a little laser there, some extra detection. The cram cannon, by the way, has a shell health of only 13k, but a reasonable amount of damage. It's scary. We ended up using one of these instead of the Vicoletta sniper. It's an Seawiz gun. Here we have our detection added onto a pocket lighter. This is a little flame turret. Some detection, and at this space we have our diff guns. You can see here we have Hesh incendiary combo. Who knows if this is beautiful or useful, but I don't know. It's there. The AOG SPG Alpha Rambler Mark 1, and we got some Fawkes windows to make this thing look more 40k and habitable, I don't know. Also furry, thanks to the beautiful mascot that Montrose Finlay built for us. Well, we don't have a controller on this thing, but let's spawn a Marauder, I guess. We added a little missile launcher too. Oh, and one of these. Beautiful. And here we have the Marauder, and well, our damage types is very extreme and very like opening up like that. If you're wondering why it's the Alpha Rambler, obviously it's because it's an Alpha strike vessel. That's like all it does. In the fights we had, if it kind of failed to hit the first couple of rounds, which it usually didn't, but if it did, it lost kind of. But yeah. And we have a flamer too, and that proved to be useful for the melee type. The drill and the flamers did actually prove very useful for the melee type. Well, I don't know if there is anything more to that. I just wanted to show you the build process of the Alpha Rambler. Like, granted, it's not the most beautiful thing I ever made. I'm not saying it is, but you know, wanted to share a little piece of Army of GMODISM history when we actually did submit this little thing. We also have multiple layers of shields in case the shields before them were torn down. Yeah. Smart, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, and that was the making of the Alpha Rambler. I don't know if that was interesting or not, but if I should put this on the Steam Workshop, by the way, please do remind me in case I forgot to do so already. But here it is, the Alpha Rambler. Veni, Vidi, Vici. Very good inspirational worlds indeed. I don't know. I just want to say big thanks for everyone who support the channel. Chancellor, Super Dave, Admiral Dragon X62. We got Commander Ben Wilkie and Delphin. Oh, and of course Commodore Ace. What did I? Okay, I lost my track, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very sorry. Commodore Ace, of course, Admiral Dragon X62, Commander Ben Wilkie, Commander DLFN, Commander Sven van der Velde, Lieutenant Ali, Anto Cravey, Flars Dagan, Danny Sakin, Owen, Power by Greed, Vincent Veritas, Volkite, Rick Pearl, and Scoob Rocks. Your continuous support helps me a lot. This is your host, Eric, signing out. I hope you consider subscribing. Bye.